for trusses, first step before figuring out what is the required, here we are looking for AB, AF, and FE. Before looking to these forces, first step we have to figure out reactions. In your problem during the exam or any, I will tell you why A is a roller, is a hinge support. We have YA, XA, BAC is a roller, so we have only YC. We have three equilibrium equations, summation f of x equals 0. So this reaction will be 0. Summation f of y equals 0. Summation moment at any point equals 0. Guys, I'm still telling you. Summation moment at any point, but I highly recommend to take moment at support with the large number of reactions. So I'm gonna take moment at A, because taking the moment at A will cancel XA, YA, and 1.5. We don't have distance for these forces. So your reaction YC, I believe it will be 6, I think. Okay, summation f of y equals 0, go back to summation f of y equals 0, YA will be 6. I am done with reactions. In the exam, I'm gonna tell you, don't worry. I'm gonna tell you, because I think some of you will say, hey, which method I'm gonna use, section or joint? I'm gonna do joint equilibrium at one point, or I will do section to cut 3 members. I will tell you during the exam, don't worry. So I'm gonna get this force AB and this force AF with joint at A. But please be careful when you are doing equilibrium at A. You have to include everything intersect at joint A. You have to draw it first. Here is A. What do you have at A? We have horizontal reaction XA 0. We have vertical reaction YA 6 kilonewton. We have vertical force given 1.5 kilonewton. And what else? We have a horizontal member, I'm gonna assume it like this, called FAB. I have another inclined member here, so we have force, I'm gonna call it FAF. And this angle theta will be the same like this angle theta. This angle theta inside this right angle triangle, please take this right angle triangle outside. Be careful about dimensions. This horizontal length 3, this vertical length 2. Then the third member, how much? 9 plus 4 under square root, it will be 3.6. So I can figure out what is the value of sine and what is the value of cosine. Or if you would like to figure out what is the value of theta, if you would like. Anyway, we have two equations. Summation f of x equals 0. Everything in x, we have 0. We have positive FAB. We have positive FAF cosine theta. Don't forget, FAF has two components, one horizontal, cosine, one vertical will be sine. equals 0. We have two unknowns, AF, AB. I cannot do anything. Summation F of Y equals 0. We have positive 6. We have negative 1.5. We have positive F, AF sine theta equals 0. Guys, sine theta as a whole value, sine theta as a whole value is 2 divided 3.6. The only unknown in this equation is FAF. It will be negative. Please be careful about your signs. Sign is critical. Will be negative. It will be negative 8.1 kilonewton. Please substitute with FAF, which is negative 8.1. Keep everything the same. Your value is 8.1. The sign is negative. Keep everything the same. Cosine theta is 3 divided 3.6. That means the only unknown in this equation will be FAB. FAB will be positive. How much? 6.75 kilonewton. After you are done, we need to do something. What is the decision for this force? Is it tension or compression? What is the decision for this force? Is it tension or compression? These signs will not tell you. Guys, be careful. These signs will not tell you. These signs telling you only your assumption is correct or not correct. In this case, it's positive, so your assumption is correct. Please go back to your assumption. What did you assume for FAB? I assumed the FAB like tension. It's correct. This force is tension. This sign negative means your assumption is not correct. Please go back. What did you assume for FAF? FAF, I assumed it tension also. No, it's incorrect. So it will be compression. Please, can you put these tension and the compression and these values on the truss? Actual truss. Here you go. This force AF is compression. AF is compression. So related to this joint will be compression. Related to the other joint on the other side will be compression. How much? How much? 8.1. AB is tension. So related to this joint will be tension. Related to the other joint on the other side will be tension. How much? 6.75. I'm done with AB. I'm done with AF. I'm still looking for FE, this one. So I will talk about joint F. For joint F, let me do it here. Joint F. Be careful when you are drawing joint F. Here is joint F. Everything intersect at joint F. Everything. Yes, Bishal, please be careful about what I did. I keep everything the same. I got here FAF negative. Everything's the same. I put FAF negative. Everything's the same. Finally, after you get all values, I need to make decision. So after I am done with all calculations, I need to decide. But before this, keep everything the same. The negative is negative, the positive is positive. Okay? For joint F, what do you have at joint F? I have vertical force, 3 kilonewton. I have this inclined force. I know the actual or the correct direction, which is compression. How much? 8.1. I know we have another force here. I'm gonna assume it like tension, like this. FB. I'm sorry. Yeah, FB. And we have another force here. FE. And put the signs, the angles, I'm sorry. So this one will be theta. This one will be theta. This one will be, I think, theta also. This angle, theta, equal to this one, equal to this one, equal to this one also. All of these angles will be inside right angle triangle. This one is 2, this, I'm sorry, this one is 3, this one is 2, this one is 3.6. Anyway, can you go ahead and apply summation f of x equals 0, summation f of y equals 0 to figure out the value of this force and this force? If you are done, you are done. So guys, for this problem, we have 3 parts. The first part, reactions. The second part, joint equilibrium at E. The third part, joint equilibrium at F. The key to do your joint equilibrium, you have to draw your joint correctly. Joint means point, only one point. You have to put everything intersect at this point. Everything, please don't forget anything at this point. Any question? For this one, first step before doing anything, we need to figure out reactions. This is a roller, so we have only one reaction, YA. This is a hinge, so we have two reactions, one vertical and one horizontal, XD and YD. Summation f of x equals 0. This horizontal reaction will be 0. Summation f of y equals 0. So we have YA plus YD minus 1.5 minus 2 equals 0. Third equilibrium equation, summation moment at any point. Guys, what do you think? Which point I'm going to take moment about? My recommendation to take moment at support with the highest number of reactions. So I'm going to take moment at D. I'm going to assume this direction is positive. If you take moment at D, you will get YA. So 2 times 8 plus 1.5 times 16 divide 24. This reaction will be 1.67. Minus 1.5 minus 2. This reaction will be 1.83. Keep. Very simple. Very simple. Please, if you have issue, if you have problem, how to calculate reactions, you have to go back to videos before exam number 1. Without reactions, I believe you cannot pass exam number 2. I would like to repeat this. Without reactions, you will not able to pass exam number 2. Actually, if you cannot calculate reaction, you have not to pass this course. without actions. Anyway, okay? So we are looking for FC, this one, BC, this one, FE, this one. I'm gonna tell you during the exam, don't worry. In the problem, I will tell you, hey guys, we need to take section. These three members inside the truss at the intermediate members inside the truss. This two members at the edge, at the beginning, at supports, but these members inside the truss. So the best scenario, the best method is section method. So I'm gonna make section. Your section cut this truss to two parts. The first part in your left, the second part in your right. You have two options. It's up to you. But for me, I'm gonna use the right part. Looks simple. So we have here this part, these members I didn't cut. E, D, and C. We have vertical force here. How much? 2 kb. We have two reactions here. The vertical one, 1.83, and this horizontal reaction is 0. Then I did cut in this horizontal member, which called FEF. I did cut in this inclined member, FCF, and I did cut in this member, FCB. We have three equilibrium equations for this part of the structure. Summation f of x equals 0. So go ahead and figure out what is the angle here. This angle and this angle. I'm not sure they are equal or not, but looks like equal. Yeah, this one will be equal to this one. And you can put this angle or this one inside right angle triangle like this one. This right angle triangle, this horizontal distance is 8, this vertical distance is 6, the third one will be 10. So I can figure out sine and cosine. It's very easy. Then we have summation f of y equals 0. Then we have moment, summation moment at any point equals 0. Guys, I recommend to take moment at point of the intersection of two forces, like FCB and FCF, both of them intersect at C. So I recommend to take moment at C. Because if you take moment at C, you are going to cancel this one, and probably more. So I can figure out the force FEF. Then I can go back to this one or this one to figure out the rest. Tambana, do you have any more question? Because someone here asked me to figure this. Yeah. I know if you set up these three equations, you will have many unknowns and more calculations, but finally you can solve this equation together to figure out the unknowns. Guys, if I'm grading this problem, you have to get your reaction correct. No way. No way. You have to get your reaction correct. Then I will see, based on your section, and what is the free body diagram, probably if you didn't get the final answer correct, probably you can still get good grade or good score in this problem. If you did everything correct, you are doing the free body diagram correct, put everything on this part and apply your equilibrium equation, so you have mathematical error, I can skip it. But at least the final shape or the final solution looks like engineering mechanics. You know, I'm teaching engineering mechanics. I'm not teaching mathematics. So do you know what I mean? I'm not grading for the final answer. I'm grading for steps for engineering mechanics. For joint F. Do you need these calculations? Okay. Summation f of x equals 0. So we have 8.1 cosine theta positive FFB cosine theta positive FFE cosine theta equals 0. This force has two components like this and like this. This force one down and one to right. This force one to right and one to up. Summation f of y equals 0. We have negative 3. We have positive FFE sine theta. We have negative FFB sine theta. We have positive 8.1 sine theta equals 0. Please go ahead and solve two equations in two unknowns. You can get them. In your exam, I didn't grade for the final answer. I'm grading. Did you set up this equation and this equation correctly? You are done. You are done. But you need to get the final answer, at least. Okay? No. I have question, Bishel, and I know this is confused a little bit, but I have question. And you need to answer me. When I get FAF negative 8.1 kilonewton, negative, I didn't change anything. I go back to this equation. Remember, I didn't change anything. I will go back to this equation and put the value of FAF negative. Everything didn't change. I didn't change anything. So I will keep everything without change. Then I got the final answer for FAB and I got the final answer for FAF. So I will take some decision. Positive means your assumption is correct, it's a tension. Negative means your assumption isn't correct, it's a compression. My question is, these arrows based on the correct direction or the assumed direction? When you put this direction and this direction for 8.1, did you put the correct direction? Yes. So please put your value 8.1 without sign. Because I already put the corrected direction. This one and this one. So I don't need sign anymore. Okay? So I will use 8.1 as a positive value as normal. Because I already put the correct direction. Yes, yes, both of them correct. Keep your sign, keep your assumption. If you kept your sign negative, please keep your assumption, which is tension. But don't try to discuss this because you will confuse your classmates. This one is a piece of cake. We are looking for this one and this one, so we can do adjoint A. We have reaction, we have reaction, we have vertical force, we have member, we have another member. That's it. For this one, This member will be 0. Before this member, I will start with case number 2. This one and this one will be 0. This one and this one will be 0. This one will be 0 also. This one and this one will be 0. This one and this one will be 0. 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 0, 0. Yeah. Guys, I know some of you will say, hey, why this member is 0? Try to think about it. Try to think about it.